All right, this is part 9 to Tricked in the Name of Faith. I think it's part 9. I don't know. I'm kind of all over the place right now. But I ended the last one reading to y'all the letter I finally sent to them on that Saturday. And, you have this hope and belief that people really won't be that cruel. I found myself looking for a truck, and when I say that, I mean, like, you still have that hope. Like I said, that people won't be so cruel. And it is like, even though I was knowing this was a scam, like on that 4th of July, my son and I went out to my parents' home. And it was just like, on the way to their home, I kept watching the opposite side of the highway. Just like a little slimmer of hope was waiting to see, like a truck coming down a highway with the van on the back of it. You know what I'm saying? Even though it's like, in my heart of hearts, I knew that this was a scam. But yeah, and I know people will judge what I did and be negative. Like, there are going to be negative comments. I know. I'm sure there are going to be a lot of supportive ones as well, because I know this is not the only I'm not the only person that something like this has happened to, and that many people can sympathize or empathize with me. But I also know that there will be some people out there that will be negative and just be like, you put yourself in this situation. And fair enough, I take ownership of that. Everyone is entitled to their opinions, but at the end of the day, the day gotta end. But seriously, at the end of the day, I have had to learn a very, very, very hard lesson with this. And I don't think I'm a fool by any means. I consider myself a very highly intelligent woman. And I also feel like my parents are very highly intelligent. Everybody has several degrees, higher degrees, but it just goes to show this could happen to anybody. That none of that matters in the grand scheme of things. So, you know, it was a hard lesson to learn, but at the end of the day, I am human, so it does still hurt. I had someone tell me to just let it go, but I'm not going to just let it go, because, like I said, I'm human. I have feelings, and it's okay to feel what I feel, because I have been violated. You know, um, my socioeconomic status may not be like yours, so what I lost may hit a little differently than if you had lost it. And so that makes me kind of angry. And I also have feelings of guilt because, like I said, the word said, y'all, I haven't even told you, like, feelings of guilt I have because I don't just have extra money laying around. Like, I'm the type of person, I have to allocate our funds. Like, I'm a single mom. I'm holding it down on my own over here. I have to allocate our funds, so I don't just have an extra 1,000 just sitting here. If I'm gonna do something like buying this car, like, I have to start literally saving for those type of things. You know what I'm saying? So I say all that to say, I took that money out of my son's savings account. So yeah, I have feelings of guilt around that, because I took that money from him, you know, thinking it was for a greater need in that right now moment, and that I'd be able to replace that money, you know. And then I'm also sad because, like, I'm a very optimistic person. I like to at least think that I am, and I try to see the good in most people, right? And I say I say most people because, some energies do rub me the wrong way, but that's a whole nother story. But, for the most part, I really do think that people are good and have great intentions. And so to be kind of duped that just kind of douses that thought that that there are still good people out there with great intentions. You just like to think that, and I do believe that miracles still happen. And I, for me, I thought that was a miracle happening in our life, but it just didn't quite work out that way, right? So yeah, so I have a lot of feelings about it, and I feel let down that there are cruel people out there preying on people like me, or people that are in similar situations like me, or whatever. So like, I think about that complaint I told you I saw where it was the woman herself that was disabled that got preyed upon. And I mean, like, I just think about how the joy we had in that moment, thinking this is all so real. Like I told you, me and Mom had a whole praise party. Mama was crying. And then I came home to my son. And if y'all follow us, y'all know I would act the fool for my son. Like, anything to keep a smile on his face, I'm going to do it. Baby, we had a whole impromptu dance party. If you know, you know, we were right there in the kitchen just getting it. You know what I'm saying? And I just feel frustrated that I collect the information from trusted people in my life without doing my own due diligence. Because like I said, I can't put that on my dad, because I have the withal to do, like I said, do my own due diligence. You know what I'm saying? So, and then I feel grief over the vehicle I thought was going to soon be mine. So yeah, like I said, I feel a lot of things and a big range of emotions. So I'm not going to just forget about it or just get over it. I'm going to allow myself to feel what I feel. But what I won't do is stay in them. I'm going to move through them. So I'm going to process it and move through it, so that these feelings don't resurface again in some other way. And I'm also going to advocate and continue to fight that these scammers don't get to hurt anyone else in this way again. And so that's what I'm doing now by putting out these videos. Like, y'all beware. Redstone Mobility, they probably are rebranding themselves right now. I have no idea. Like I said, I haven't seen them advertise anything since I sent that letter to them on that Saturday. And I haven't heard anything from them. But just know I have already filed complaints. And so that's my story. That's the story of how I got tricked in the name of faith. But you know what? I was tricked in the name of faith, but I'm still holding on to my faith. Now, that would never change. That for sure would never change. As hard of a lesson as this was, I still have faith. So y'all be easy. Y'all take care. And if you haven't followed our channel, follow us. You know, we're a different type of family, but we're a family all the same. Much love.